Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful. Throughout the countless pages of human history, there are certain names written in pure gold. Their lives were not just ordinary tales, but burning beacons of guidance for all of humanity. Since the dawn of time, billions of people have walked this earth. But how many do we truly remember? Today, we are going to dive into the life of one such monumental figure. When his name is mentioned, one single word instantly echoes in our hearts: patience. He is the beloved servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, a mighty prophet of God, Hazrat Ayyub alayhi salam, widely known in the English-speaking world as Prophet Job. Many of us know the story of his legendary patience. We've heard about his prolonged illness, his unbearable physical pain, and the tragic loss he endured. Even today, when someone is going through a tough time, we say, "Have the patience of Job." But have we ever stopped to deeply imagine what his life was like before that terrifying trial began? Just how royal, how magnificent, and how breathtakingly perfect was his life. In today's episode, we are going to travel back in time. We will return to those golden days when Prophet Ayyub alayhi salam was considered one of the wealthiest, happiest, and most respected men on the face of the earth. Prophet Ayyub alayhi salam was a noble descendant of the patriarch of faith, Prophet Abraham alayhi salam. Historians tell us that he lived in the east, in a remarkably fertile and beautiful region known as Auran, located near Damascus in present-day Syria. Auran was a place of surreal beauty. It was as if Allah had personally decorated this land for his beloved prophet. Everywhere you looked, there was lush greenery. And in this blessed valley, Ayyub alayhi salam was not just a prophet. He was the undisputed leader, the ultimate judge, and the absolute beloved of his people. The community loved him more than their own lives. Allah had blessed him with every conceivable worldly bounty. Scholars and historians note that a massive portion of the entire Auran Valley was Prophet Ayyub's personal property. Just close your eyes and picture this for a moment. Hundreds and hundreds of acres of fertile arable land. Miles upon miles of golden wheat and barley fields swaying gracefully in the wind. From a distance, it looked like a massive, endless carpet of gold. His orchards were a paradise on earth, meticulously arranged with sweet dates, luscious figs, pomegranates, and ancient olive trees. Everywhere you turned, there was an abundance of harvest. And it wasn't just land. The sheer number of his livestock was unimaginable. To put it in modern terms, if Ayyub alayhi salam were alive today, he would be a multi-billionaire. It is said that when his herds of camels went out to graze, you couldn't see where the herd ended. It literally stretched beyond the horizon. Thousands upon thousands of cattle, massive flocks of sheep, and the finest breeds of Arabian horses roamed his private pastures. To manage this massive agricultural empire, he employed hundreds of workers, servants, and herdsmen. His wealth was legendary. But let's pause and think about human nature for a second. What usually happens when a human being acquires absolute wealth, power, and status? If we look at the world today, or at history, extreme wealth usually breeds extreme arrogance. The rich often walk with their noses in the air, forgetting God and looking down on the poor. History is filled with the tragedies of Pharaoh, Qarun, and Nimrod, men who were destroyed by their own ego. But Prophet Ayyub was cut from a completely different cloth. Sitting at the very pinnacle of wealth, he remained as humble as the dust on the ground. His heart was overflowing with the fear and love of Allah. Despite having the means to buy the world, he didn't wear extravagant silk. He didn't sit on jeweled thrones to pass judgments. Instead, he sat on the dusty earth, shoulder to shoulder with the poorest of society. He had one incredibly beautiful, heart-melting habit. Despite owning massive estates, he would never sit down to eat a meal alone. When it was time for lunch or dinner, he would call his servants and say, "Go out into the streets, check under the shade of the trees, go near the markets, see if there is a hungry traveler, a homeless orphan, or a poor widow." He would refuse to take a single bite of his own food until his servants found a hungry soul, brought them to his home, and seated them right next to him at his dining mat. He would serve the poor with his own hands. He took care of the widows. He stroked the heads of the orphans. In the entire region of Auran, he was known as the father of the orphans and the refuge for the broken. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not just give him material wealth. He blessed him with a large, beautiful, and deeply loving family. His wife, Rahima, some historical accounts call her Leah, was a woman of incredible beauty, intellect, and profound faith. She stood by him like his own shadow, fully supporting his mission. Together, Allah blessed them with 14 beautiful children, 7 handsome sons, and 7 wonderful daughters. Imagine the scene. When the sun would set over the Auran Valley, Ayyub alayhi would return to his grand home. As his 14 children gathered around him, laughing and smiling, and his loving wife sat by his side, that house felt like a piece of paradise on earth. But Ayyub alayhi was a wise father. He didn't raise his children to be spoiled by luxury. He knew this world was an illusion. Every evening, he would sit his children down and teach them a profound lesson. He would say, "Oh, my beloved children, look at this grand mansion. Look at the thousands of animals and the endless fields of gold. None of this belongs to us. All of this is a temporary gift from Allah. He has merely loaned it to us. And remember, the one who gives can take it all back in the blink of an eye. So never let this wealth make you arrogant. Always, always remain grateful to your Creator." Just think about it. Perfect health, a deeply righteous and devoted spouse, 14 obedient, beautiful children, boundless wealth, and the highest respect of society. What else could a human being want? Prophet Ayyub alayhi lacked absolutely nothing. He was living the ultimate dream, continuously thanking Allah for his blessings. But while Prophet Ayyub alayhi was living in this ocean of happiness on earth, something else was happening high above. In the heavens, a completely different scene was unfolding. In the celestial realm, the angels were gathering in the divine presence of Allah. They were discussing the greatest humans on earth, and they began to praise Prophet Ayyub. The angels said, "O Allah, there is no one on the face of this earth as grateful, as humble, and devoted to you as your servant Ayyub." But lurking in the shadows of that celestial gathering was the accursed Iblis, Satan. Hearing the angels shower so much praise on a creature made of clay, a mere human, ignited the ancient fires of jealousy and arrogance within Iblis. He simply could not stand it. The hatred consumed him. With unparalleled audacity,
Iblis challenged the Almighty. He spoke up and said, "O Allah, the angels praise Ayyub, but is it really that surprising? He only worships you because of the massive wealth you've given him. You gave him perfect health, a beautiful family, and limitless money. Of course he sings your praises. But I swear, if you strip him of these blessings, if you take away his wealth and make him a beggar, he will stop worshiping you. He will complain, he will rebel, and he will turn his back on you." What a terrifying claim. Iblis directly challenged the Lord of the worlds. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows the hearts of his true believers better than anyone else. Allah knew that Ayyub's worship was not driven by greed or desire for wealth. His worship was driven by pure